Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome back. It's been a few weeks, maybe months, since we did a video. The last video I think I did was the Rozz CDRs. And in that video I had talked about a desire to do the Happiest Tapes on Earth series of releases for Rozz, and a few people were gracious enough to watch that video for one, and then offer up their material. So this is going to be the first video. I'm not sure how many tapes I'm going to cover in each video. I guess it's going to kind of depend on the length. But we're going to kick it off here, and depending on when I get the footage for the next tape, prepared and edited, that'll depend on how many I'm including in each video. It may just be one at a time if we have to kind of piecemeal it together. But we're going to kick it off with Death Cultures. This was the first Premature Ejaculation release, I believe, on Happiest Tapes on Earth. The original, I believe, was 1987. And then there was a reissue in 1989 with a different catalog number. This one we're going to watch is for that first release. Interestingly enough, I've seen some handwritten notes by Rozz during this period when he was kind of packaging this release together, how he was going to go about it, and how it was going to manifest itself. And in those notes, Rozz talks about alternate covers, and I do believe that there is a second cover maybe for this release, for the 1987 release. I could be wrong, but this is the only one that I've seen, I believe, like in person. The other one I've seen online. You know how that goes, but I don't have any reason to doubt that second cover, and it sort of, with having read these notes, which you'll see in the video, I've screenshotted those handwritten notes from Rozz. It sort of gives credence to the fact that maybe there were alternate covers, and Rozz was notorious for providing these tapes to friends and family, and people who would write him. So it's not unreasonable to think that Rozz maybe even made some custom covers for people and dubbed the tape. It's certainly in the realm of possibilities, knowing what I know about the tapes that are out there and in the hands of some collectors. With that said, let's kick off the series. And in the background, I don't know if you can hear that, I'm listening to the Akubi Object EP. Still one of my favorites. Something I share with friends who are into experimental music. And I've gotten my son hooked on Akubi Object as well. So it's an incredible project. If you're not familiar with it, I definitely encourage you to look it up. It's not Rozz related. It's a completely separate band, but some of the members of Akubi Object would go on to play with Rozz in his last years. And that would be Israel Medina and Kenton Holmes. So with that said, let's get into it. This first video, Death Cultures, and maybe more. I want to thank the person who provided the footage. The footage of the cassette is not mine. This was shot by a friend who owns the tape, and it seemed like a better alternative to having tape shipped to me, and then having to return those to that individual. So that's how this series is going to be. If I do get any of the tapes in my own possession, certainly I'll film it myself. But as it goes, we will follow this process, and as long as my friends and people helping me, assisting me with this, are filming in landscape and getting good footage. Death Cultures is very detailed, so I'm very appreciative if we can get more footage like that. going through. I think we can hopefully document the entire Happiest Tapes on Earth series. As always, feel free to comment below and share your thoughts on the series, on the release. Anything that you would like to see for future videos regarding these Happiest Tapes on Earth, or videos outside of that realm. I know I had a recent request for a recording from the Patriotic Hall rehearsals, I think it is. So I did get that request. I am going to put that together, and I will post a video for that soon, hopefully in the next couple weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for making that request, by the way, and for visiting the channel. Thank you to anyone that visits the channel and subscribes. I know the schedule is inconsistent, and I apologize for that, but I'm not going to promise that it's going to be different going forward. But yeah, the things are just too chaotic personally for that. And then I have another channel which I'm incredibly inconsistent with. So with that said, thank you everyone that sticks around and turns on notifications and whatnot, so that you're getting a heads up when the new videos come out. Thank you all, and I appreciate you all, and let's continue on. I'll be dipping out at this point, and what you will be seeing is some of my footage of the notes, and then some footage of the cassette. And this is going to be how I do the series going forward. So I'm pretty happy with it. But if you have any comments about that, just let me know, and I'll certainly get back to you in a somewhat timely basis. I don't intentionally ignore anyone. I'm just really bad at responding. And again, that all goes back. It has nothing to do with the drama associated around Rozz or anything like that. It's just my poor time management skills in that regard. So I apologize. But I do read all the comments. I don't always respond right away. So I thank you for those who do comment and continue to comment, even though I don't get back to you right away. So with that said, I'm dipping out, and take care, and I'll see you at the next video. Thanks. Hey there everyone. So I wanted to give a little bit of description as we watch this video that was shot of the cassette. I wanted to start out with some journals of Rozz's that include, his notes about Death Cultures prior to its release, how they were going to release it, the song titles, the promotional aspect of how they're going to disseminate the releases. Just a little bit of a nice find. Rozz's handwriting changes so much depending on, I guess, his state of mind. So here we go with the actual cassette, and you can see it's in a clear clamshell. The paper quality on this release, one of the tip-offs for most people is the paper quality. A lot of people assume that because it's a noise project and it was supposed to be sort of low budget, a low budget feel, that the quality of the paper was going to be like Xerox photocopy. It's actually a higher quality, thicker paper like you would see with a traditional cassette. Here you can see the cassette itself. All of those original copies are on UDX2 Maxell 60 tapes. Those were tapes that were exclusive from Japan. They're a little bit higher quality tape than the Maxell Chromium Golds that you usually see most people having, using for tape trades and whatnot. And here we go. This is another insert. This is beneath the cover, and this is in the cassette as well. So it includes the track list, and it folds out. As you can see, it's blank on one side, and on that inside is the graphics. And as you can see here, this is the inside without the insert. So now we're looking at the 1989 release of Death Cultures. If you would have ordered this from the catalog in '89, this is the copy you would have received. Obviously, you can see that it has a different cover. The clamshell is different. It's not all clear anymore. It's a lower quality clamshell with the black backing, and an unfortunate choice for this release because the way the paper's cut for the J card, it looks a little tacky. As you can see, the cover is different. As I said, it has the swastika now, more closely tying with the premature ejaculation imagery that we would become accustomed to. And I want you to pay particular notice on this video to the red of the flag on the front cover. You can see variations in the depth of color. That's a big tell. Usually with counterfeit copies, that is usually the red flag that you're looking for, no pun intended. As you can also see on the cover, Chuck has now added a barcode, a pseudo barcode for the release. And as you can see, it says 1989, or Happiest Place on Earth. The cassettes themselves are interesting. They're this really beautiful clear shell cassette, and I don't know the manufacturer of these. I'm not sure that anyone has determined that. I assume that they came with the cases that that are provided with this release. These may be prison issue cassettes because they are clear, but I'm not 100% sure on that, because there are manufacturers and production companies that do the clear shell cassettes, and usually they get screen printed. And in this case, maybe Chuck or Rozz decided not to get them screen printed, but instead, use some stickers to customize the look of the cassette. With the insert, we have the same insert, and it has the same copyright as before. So this is a photocopy of the original insert, but this time it's two-sided. You can see that the copyright still says 1987. This time it's two-sided. We get some new graphics with this one. This is photo quality paper, so nothing high-end, but because it's two-sided, another red flag for anybody buying would be if you have a one-sided flyer with the swastika cassette, or if the graphics are different than what you're seeing here. It should be the original flyer with the original copyright date with the new graphics on the back, as seen here. So this is the third generation release of Death Cultures, and as you can see, it's modeled after the second generation cassette. And there was a belief in the community for a good while that this was a counterfeit version, but it has been seen at recent premature ejaculation shows, so that speculation now is sort of concreted into believing that this is a legitimate release. It's been dubbed the Disneyland version, or the Disney version of Death Cultures, and you'll see why here in a second. The J card this time is on a thinner paper, and it appears to be printed on a laser printer. On the back of the J card, where the barcode is, now we have these Disney characters added, resulting in it being dubbed the Disneyland cassette. The J card is one-sided, and for most of these, or all of these so far that I've seen, there is no insert with these. No flyer, no track listing, no numbers, nothing to identify it as a Happiest Place or Happiest Tapes or Happiest Sounds on Earth release. The cassette clamshells have been clear, like the first release, and the cassettes themselves are clear, but they have an affixed sticker that is spray painted on each side. That would make each one of these unique, but there are no identifying marks to say who the manufacturer of this is, and other than the fact that they're being sold at current premature ejaculation shows, that is really our only indication that these are legitimate releases.
adventure, I send my best wishes to every soldier in the Allied chief. To us is given the honor of striking a blow of freedom which will live in history. And in the better days that lie ahead, men will speak with pride of our liberty. We have a great and a righteous cause. Let us pray that the Lord, mighty in battle, will go forth with our army, and that his special providence will aid us in destruction. I want every soldier to know that I have complete confidence in the successful outcome of the operations that we are now about to begin. With stout hearts and with enthusiasm for the contest, let us go forward to victory.
I'm just jumping back in at the end of this video to thank everyone who stayed to the end of the video. I realize that there's a lot of variations when it comes to these independent releases related to premature ejaculation. So if you have something that I didn't share in the video that you think is pertinent for death cultures, you know, please drop me a line. It's haloscurios@gmail.com. You can also connect to it in the description for the videos. Yeah, so if you have anything you'd like to add, I'd really appreciate it, and I will include it in the video, and I will obviously give you credit. So I tried to credit everybody that I could identify with some of the items I used in the video. Some of the items came from Discogs, some of them came from, you know, deep dives in the internet. Next up is going to be assertive discipline, and that one's going to be pretty varied, just like this video is with death cultures. A lot of variations out there, and so it'll probably be another long video, so I'll probably do a video just for assertive discipline. The real reason the primary reason I'm reaching out at the end of this video too is because after assertive discipline is a release by Consumer Stress Institute, and I have yet to find anybody that has that item. And the hope is to do a complete series and document all of the releases through videos. So if anyone has images, the music, whatever you're comfortable sharing, it would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, we may have to just skip that one, which kind of stinks because it would only be the third one in the series. The release is called Mortification Response Systems, and I believe it's HA02. Assertive discipline is HA01. So if anybody out there just happens to stumble upon this video and has it and is willing to share some of the images or music or anything, information, that would be greatly appreciated, and you'll definitely get credit in the video. So with that said, I hope everybody's enjoyed the video. I hope they found it informative, and just be careful when you're out there buying, especially these releases. I think, you know, all of us at some point or another have received a counterfeit when we thought we were buying an original, or have at least seen counterfeits out there on eBay and Discogs. So that's the primary purpose of these videos, is to educate collectors, especially the newer people to Rozz's music, that weren't around when they originally came out. This has been informative for me as well, because I didn't know, as I said at the beginning of the video, I didn't know about premature ejaculation until much too late. So this has been a good education for me as well. So with all that said, I hope everyone is well, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good night.